I'm hearing something specific with this Queen of Wands, especially that she came with the Tower. But hold on, let me do two more, and we're gonna see one more. That one's face down. Let's see. We have Knight of Swords, Page of Swords. All right. Very strong air energy. So maybe he is an air sign. But again, I say this to you guys, that specific thing is always a little detailed. The rest has to resonate. So make sure you watch part 1 before you watch this one and go on claim I want this, right? Okay, so we're doing how is your person thinking, what are they thinking, so how they feel about you in their head, right? We're doing the head. Like I mentioned in previous part, they're a little bit on offense. They don't know how to feel. They don't understand this connection. It caused a lot of Tower moments in their life. Maybe I'm hearing that maybe even they associate certain challenging Tower moments with you. So it's making, you know, when we're very wounded, we're not understanding that Tower moments are actually blessings in disguise, right? So sometimes when we're not, I talk about this all the time, and it's a theme of this eclipse. I've explained this to you guys in my previous videos. Sometimes when we are not listening to spirit, when spirit and our guides are like, you have to remove this one, you have to change this one, and we're not doing that, the people, the patterns, the situations, spirit gets upset and it's like, okay, Tower moment. If you're not willing to do this, you know, like step by step, I'm going to remove this for you. Bin, garbage. It doesn't belong in your life. What are you not understanding, right? And we're not seeing these moments as blessings, because in the moment we're like losing friends, we're arguing with family, we're losing jobs, right? So it's very, very difficult. So maybe even certain things. My mind went when I said family. So maybe it's a detail for some of you. Maybe you caused some, you know, disruptions, some arguments, some challenging situations that were actually meant to happen to improve his life, to show him certain things, but he's not yet necessarily seeing that. And with the Tower and the Queen of Wands, what I was hearing is that he doesn't yet know what to make of this, what to make of you. And you know how I oftentimes say this to you guys, our beautiful masculines, right? They have really distorted vision and distorted outlook on love, relationships, and women. Why? Because in this lifetime, they're meant to go through a lot of negative karma to clear it out for all the lifetimes, to really understand and master the matrix, because they're masters of physical world. They're masters of the matrix. They're meant to rebuild and heal the matrix, right? So they really have to go through a lot of distorted situations, distorted people, distorted patterns to understand what is wrong with people, what is wrong with this matrix, right? So they're oftentimes surrounded by many women who are distorted. It can be, you know, women in their family, mothers, aunts, first girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, right? That are very manipulative, that are very controlling. I'm seeing her like in reverse, that are very through passion, through lust, through manipulations, through that toxic femininity. I'm going to lure you in. I'm going to entrap you. I'm going to keep you with me because I'm going to, I don't know, those women that threaten that they're going to do something stupid if you leave them, or they try to get pregnant on purpose to keep a man. Distortion. So because in the initial phases of this relationship, the passion that they feel for you is really uncanny. It doesn't compare to anything, but because a lot of Tower moments happen for them in that moment as well, in that phase, they sometimes fail to understand that we're actually alignment. Do you know what I mean? So because it's so full of turmoils, things that you do, things that you say, we're mirrored connections. So they trigger them, but they're not understanding that your soul is just trying to show them what they need to fix, what they need to course correct. So they associate you with problems, right? So I feel like right now in his head, he's really not sure. It's like there's a lot of curiosity within him and in his mind. So he would be thinking about this a lot. He would be thinking about you, who you are, what is the truth of your connection. Maybe this is why in the beginning, this is usually why they watch us, right? So they're afraid to have that interaction, to actually get to know us, to actually, spend a lot of time with us, but they stalk us like crazy because they have this mistrust towards women. So is she really telling the truth? Is she really so wonderful? Is it too good to be true? Maybe she's another manipulator. Maybe she's another man-eater, I'm hearing, right? So he would be like in his mind a bit like obsessive, a bit fearful, but he has this curiosity. So who is she really? It's like there's a lot of things that I'm hearing that he wants to ask you, that he wants to tell you, but he's just so afraid to be vulnerable right now. It's like there's this curiosity in his mind, what is this? But there's also not knowing what to make of this. Does it make sense? But it's like he wants to learn more. And sometimes, because they're so curious and because they're so wounded, because they're not sure what's going on, they watch us, right? And then we post something, we say something. It can be something completely not related to them, something really nonchalant, something really spontaneous, but it triggers something within them. And they get too triggered. It's like, I don't want to even look at this, right? Do you know what I mean? It would make sense if it's really your collective. Okay, let's ask, how does he feel about you in your heart, in his heart? How does this masculine feel about his feminine in his heart? Page of Pentacles. Whoop, double flip. Did it flip? No. Whoop. A little chaos I'm sensing, because they like face down, face up, flying around. Okay, we have Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, so you have 2 pages. You know that it's not the energy that we really want to see. We have Ace of Swords. I was seeing this card for the mind. I would have wanted to see this for the mind. It's really weird because the transformation to Santa Muerte, it would be a little bit better to see her in the heart space, whereas this in the mind space. But maybe it's a good thing, right? Because Santa Muerte is this true transformation. So I feel like he's going through a shift on the level of the mind and how he's seeing things and how he's perceiving things. Okay, on the heart level, I know, my beautiful feminines, you don't like to hear this, especially that in the first stage of this journey, and there's, again, I explained this in my masterclass, the first stage of the journey, it can be years. We go up the hill, we go up the bridge. It's difficult for us. We strip the layers of our shadows, we heal, we cry, we're being reborn, we go for multiple dark nights of the soul. And we transform so much that it's only natural for us to think, okay, if I've changed so much, if we're forever connected, they must have changed. But remember, as long as you are going up the bridge, they remain here. They may do few steps, few shifts, right? Because we pull them, but they remain here. It is only when you transform to the point when you're no longer in complete pain, you start to feel fulfillment, you still heal, you still release, but you start doing things for yourself. It's that moment when the feminine connects more to her mission than to the journey itself. And this is when you release energetically. You start pulling on that red thread, so you give them space to stop defending themselves and to do some growth. So sometimes it really does seem that we've grown to this point that, and they're like behind, but remember, watch that 3 illusions of the twin flame journey. They're never behind. It's just that we experience this journey differently. So right now, the reason I was deviating to this is because right now he is a bit of a page energy, right? So there is lack of maturity. There is like in his heart, he would want something with you. He would want to offer you something, right? And I feel like he's not really right now, because he's shifting. Something about how he feels about you is shifting. You are closing certain cycles in your connection. Maybe you're on a cycle. Remember that we work in 9-month cycles from the day we met, right? It's a 9 month that it's a window of opportunity to come into union. You don't come into union in between these cycles. And in the beginning, it's difficult to figure it out because they're in and out, they're returning, and it's a sort of a different internal cycle as well. But overall, so maybe you are closing a cycle in your connection and shifting to another level, because he's definitely, in his heart and in his mind, there are some changes happening within him. But I feel that there's still, it's like he would love to have a new beginning. He would love to start things with you. He would love to have things ignited with you, I'm hearing, offer you something. But with that Page of Pentacles, let's confirm, but I feel like in his heart, despite the fact that he's shifting and he's changing, he wouldn't feel like he has enough to offer right now. Page of Pentacles, it is an incoming offer. So in his heart, he wants to come forward and he wants to offer something, but it's not enough of a strength of energy, right? If it was a knight, if it was a king, it's a page. So he's thinking about this, but I feel like whenever he's thinking about this, it's like, what really I can offer to her? We had those tower moments in his life. We're going to tap into where he is at this journey, but it's like he's going through difficult things in his life. So he may be thinking, what really I can offer? I cannot offer anything. I'm not up for a relationship right now. And because in the beginning we are in anxiety, they usually know what we want from them. They know that we don't want a random, let's see what this is going, friends with benefits, right? Because it ain't divine feminine energy. Even when we agree to these BS in the beginning because we're wounded, deep down, we'll always suffer because we remember, our womb remembers our greatness, what we came here to teach other women, how to respect ourselves, how to be in our divinity. So even if we're forced through longing to do these things, it's always suffering for us. Page of Pentacles. His heart. And look, it's funny. We got two same cards in his mind, right? So we have the Two of Swords and the Knight of Swords clarifying Page of Pentacles. So there are things that he, in his heart as well, remember what we said in his mind about these cards? In his heart, he also wants to say things to you. He also wants to ask you things. He wants to offer you something. It's in his heart. The feeling is there, but he doesn't know how. He doesn't see this happening right now. Ace of Swords. Three of Wands. I'm hearing, hold on, let me do two more. High Priestess. Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Ten of Pentacles. I was hearing with that High Priestess in this world, maybe you recently, there's a reason I was mentioning in the beginning. Remember that we usually start to have online presence. We usually have some sort of a mission, right, to complete. And I feel like maybe you recently started, either you started your social media or you started to post a little bit more about spirituality, about certain things that you feel guided towards. Many of us, I feel like this collective, you may be quite magical. Remember, I talk about this all the time. We're all magic, we're all healers, but the path of the feminine is very different. There's one episode in that masterclass that touches exactly about the mission and the path of the feminine, so you can watch that. But part of us, not all of us, but part of us will become medicine women, shamans, psychic mediums, readers, right? So in today's world, logical world, distorted world, it's craziness. It's something that people like frown upon and look, right? So I feel like there is a level of intimidation in his heart. It's like he so remembers that this is you. It's always been you. So it's enticed by it. But I feel like he feels that you are changing, that you are growing, that you are shifting, and this new you is a little bit intimidating. The more you grow, but it's part of the journey. They have to believe that we're equals too, because the lack mentality in the masculines is very strong for most part, until some of them, until the actual Satori, they don't believe that they're worthy. They look at us and how I could be a match to this woman, but the truth is that we're one, split into two bodies. It's just their limiting beliefs. So whatever magic they see within us, it's the magic that exists within them as well. So I am hearing a bit of an intimidation. There is here's the thing. What I'm not necessarily liking is that we have a lot of swords here, right? Swords shouldn't belong in the heart. It's like he's not allowing to feel his heart really. There's swords, there's pentacles. We want to see wands. We want to see cups truly in the heart space, right? So I feel like he's disconnected a little bit from his heart still, because he's not feeling his heart through passions and emotions, but through logic and through thinking. And there is some shifts happening in his heart as well. It's not that it's not there, but it's not loving feelings. It's more of a logical feelings. Do you know what I mean? So it's like he would want to offer something, he would want to start something, but again, in his heart, just like in his mind, he doesn't know what to make of it. I feel like he feels that in order to have any kind of forward movement, so many things would need to change, and he's just not ready for that change. That's what I'm hearing. And despite the fact that he wants that new beginning, he realizes that it's not something that can be just done like this. Subconsciously he feels if it ever gonna happen, it's gonna be a long journey. And it's funny because as long as we are in longing and in anxiety, sometimes our masculines, they handle this intuitive feeling better, because in the beginning they're in this mindset that if it's meant to be, it will be, okay? They don't understand that they actually have to make an effort, because they're the rulers of the physical world. So they have to work through their shadows, and they have to come back and claim us. Things are not just going to fall onto their plate. The divine put us in front of them once. He ain't gonna do this again. They have to fight for it. They have to come back. They have to claim us, reclaim us, right? Once they're ready, once they're healed. But in the beginning, they don't have the urgency that we do, because they're avoidant, right? They're in their armor. So they're thinking, oh yeah, I have feelings towards her, but if it's meant to be, it will happen. I don't have to do squat, right? So it allows them to like accept that fate, to relax a little bit, whereas we're like, oh, you know, in anxiety, and then the table sort of turns. But I feel right now he realizes in his heart it would require work that he's not ready to do, and he's a little bit still intimidated by who you're becoming, but what you do, but what to make of this, what to think. Really, he's confused. But we have Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. It's like he feels that you're part of his destiny. Somewhere that it's buried in his locked heart, but he feels that. Okay, let's do his intentions. I want to do his intentions for the next month, maybe. Does he have any intentions towards you for the next month? What are his plans? Four of Swords. Ace of Cups. One more. Two more. All right, we can take that. All right, we have a lot of water energy, a lot of cups. So whatever he's gonna do, it may be ruled a little bit by emotion. But as I started shuffling, I thought to myself, and I actually saw this in my mind's eye. I saw the Hanged Man. We have Four of Swords in this setting. It's a bit of a similar energy. But I was thinking to myself, whatever comes first as a first card, it's going to be this ruling energy. So I'm not seeing any movement. Four of Swords, it's allowing things to rest. It's putting things on a shelf, on a bench, right? So I feel like right now he doesn't feel like any kind of movement can happen. It may be that you're moving towards deeper separation, or it is your beginning of your separation, like I mentioned in previous part. But there is a lot of emotion, so I feel like it's more of on a subconscious level, right? Because remember, our masculines, they don't really walk this path consciously for a very long time. It is only the last stages, as they start coming into awareness, which leads into the satori, their awakening that happens shortly before union. They walk this path sort of subconsciously. They go through tower moments, karmic lessons, karmic patterns. They really struggle to consciously, in a self-aware way, to connect the dots, to see the things, but it's part of their journey. They have to walk this journey beyond, behind the veil, because look what happens to us. The moment the veil is lifted, we see things, we hear things, we notice things, we heal. There is no turning around. We would not stay in the matrix, but they have to stay in the matrix, because they really have to go, I always say this, through the gunk of the matrix to one day dissolve it, right? So I feel it's not going to be conscious, but with that Nine of Pentacles, that Ace of Cups, I feel like he just doesn't feel worthy of you. There are just issues in his heart. It's not like he looks in the mirror and says, I don't feel worthy of this woman, but subconsciously, because he puts you on a pedestal, and it happens for most part for the masculines, they put us in a pedestal. And until the moment they understand that we're equals, they will not be able to return. And even if they don't admit to themselves, I'm not worthy of this woman, because in the beginning they're wounded, they might even talk, about you, like whatever, right? It happens. There's a reason it came to my mind. They're trying to convince themselves that it's just not a good idea, right? But in reality, deep down, if they were able to be bluntly honest with themselves, it's because they don't feel worthy. They don't feel there's anything to offer. They don't love themselves enough to allow themselves to give it a try with a beautiful love, with a beautiful woman, with someone who wants to offer something, despite the fact that you still have healing in front of you. Again, he sees you here, and it's like he feels like he would need to have something more. I felt this like not shiver, like this cramp, like in my chest area, like in my heart area. I feel like he even feels this on the physical level, that maybe there are moments when he's thinking, okay, I'm gonna call her, I'm gonna message, and it's like just this fear that you feel in your chest. He's not just emotionally mature enough to offer anything, to offer apology, to offer something tangible. That's why he's putting it to rest. And sometimes they're being put in this energy for us, because remember, there's moments in this connection, things that we have to go through, things that we have to suffer to trigger something within us, to trigger the improvement within us, the growth within us. But many things are blocked by the divine, because the divine, our higher selves, destiny, will not allow us to constantly hurt each other. This is why separation happens, and sometimes we're being protected. We dream about them, you're like, oh, I want them back. But when the divine knows that they're not yet mature, that they're not yet ready, they're not going to release them to us, right? They're not going to create. When the masculine is ready, the divine throws the satori at them. They awaken, and there's no stopping them. They will find you anywhere. They suddenly have this claim over you, this, I'm going to find her, I'm going to win her back. There's no stopping them, because of the awakening, because of the satori, because of that immediate on the timer, connecting the dots. But it's not going to happen until he's ready, for our own protection. We don't really have to suffer that much. There's suffering and pain that has to happen for both of us, but whatever we can be protected for, we will be. Does it make sense? His intentions. I'm still seeing that Hanged Man, so. King of Wands. Too many. There was karma in there. There's a lot of water here as well. Maybe he is water. We mentioned water sign, air sign, but again, just details. on. It's like he doesn't know what to do. Can you see this? He doesn't even know what to do. The High Priestess again. I feel like this is also his higher self, to be honest with you. Eight of Wands. Oh my God. Oh my God. This poor little masculine. He's so confused. And Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. It's not like he's on a fence, okay? It's really funny because in his first row, we really have that energy of, no, I'm gonna put this on the shelf, right? I'm not gonna do this right now. I cannot do this. Because of the lack mentality, every time we are with them, we trigger and we remind them of how little they think of themselves. Does it make sense? It's not a conscious thing. They realize that in future because they're so wounded, they're so in denial that they don't understand why this woman is triggering me so much. But the reason is that they have that like mentality, right? But they also see their potential in our eyes for themselves that they fear, right? The greatness that they see within us, that pedestal, it's a reflection of what they see within themselves, and they fear that higher version of themselves. So we have King of Wands and we have Eight of Wands. This is a card of conquering, of moving forward, of creating movement. So it's not like they don't want it. It is in their intention. But with that High Priestess, I feel like it's actually their higher self that is blocking them a little bit. That is still making them hold on to certain beliefs and certain things because it would be disastrous right now, okay? He's not ready. He's not near ready. You have to accept this. So if he was to return, it would be disastrous. It would just cause more pain. He wouldn't be able to stay. You're not ready enough to hold this energy. I know it's something that we don't like to hear, but it's the truth. It's not yet time. So I feel he's on the fence with wanting, not wanting, right? So he may be having like days, let's just put this like on a bench. I don't want to think about this. No, it's not going to happen. It cannot happen. It doesn't make no sense. But then he has moments of this, oh my God, but I want this. It's like, I want this. I want that new beginning. I want to conquer her. I want to run to her. Those moments of like really passionate. But I feel his higher self is really putting what needs to be like put in his mind and his heart to stop him a little bit because it's not yet time. His self-love is not, it's not in the right place. He cannot fill up his own cup. How could he fill up yours? You know that this journey is about self-love, alchemizing everything that we need on our own. So I'm not seeing any, and there is a willingness to move, okay? So I feel like it's a battle of what the higher self is trying to block and what he really wants. So it is an eclipse season. So I'm hearing that in the next month, he may give it a try. He may reach out to you. But because this is being blocked, but because he doesn't really have this in his energy just yet, be careful because it might be a beautiful message that won't even end up with having coffee together. He'll be gone with the wind. So really be mindful of that. It's eclipse season. Don't do anything irrational. Don't do anything, right? It's us that have to hold our ground. So it is there on some level, but it's not very, I'm seeing they're showing me like 30% chances. So it's like 30% of you may hear from them, but it's not going to end up in anything tangible. They're going to disappear, they're going to ghost, they're going to be gone with the wind because it's very emotional. It's not grounded energy. But 70%, they even won't pull through with this because they're being blocked. There's still healing that needs to be done. All right, I want to do a couple of more things. So again, it may be a bit longer than the usual, but I want to do how they see. Maybe let's start from where they are on their journey. Where they are on their journey. Where they really are. What's really going on with their shadows with them right now. I want 4 behind the mask. And it popped out really quick. What do we have? What's your truth? Are you ready? That's nice. We were seeing 3-3. We have 3-3-4-4. I want 2 more. 1, thank you. All right. I want 1 more. I'm hearing 1 more. Hold on. We're not going to be reading through these. We have 2 more. What's your true? Okay. Okay, I was talking to myself for a moment. I didn't notice that the video stopped. I was saying that it's not that the growth is not there, right? But remember what I said. It's happening on a subconscious level to a certain point. So we have behind the mask. So he's still wearing the mask. And we have what is your truth, right? So these two came together. It's like he doesn't know his own truth just yet. He doesn't know who he is. So how he's supposed to be the true masculine? Knowing your own truth, it's part of the journey of the masculine to really embody that truth, to become that King of Swords. I really know my truth. I really know who I am. I really know how to live authentically. It defines for the masculines his purpose and his direction, to really connect to his true authentic self. So he's not there yet. He hasn't broken through certain, karmic patterns to fully release that mask, right? We have Are You Ready? And we have Yes You Can. So I like these cards. Are You Ready talks about shifting to the next level. So it's confirmation. We've mentioned this, right? You guys are shifting to another level of this journey. And it might not feel like it because you're still a little bit like in your fear, but you are shifting to the next level of your journey. And I feel he is receiving some signs. It's like his higher self and his guides are blocking him from making the movement because they know he's not ready. But there is a little bit of like push and revelation. Remember we mentioned like change in the mindset that he can change. He can move forward, right? So right now, remember what we said, he's seeing you on a pedestal, but they're trying to show him that it's just limiting belief, that you're one soul. So you're equally beautiful. You're equally powerful. He is you and you are him. You're each other's forever reflection. You cannot be so, that's why I always say this to my feminists, they cannot be so far away from you on this journey. It's just that it's the illusions and it's how we're presenting in the physical world. It's a little bit different because we embody different energies, but we're one. It's impossible for one to grow, for the feminine to grow, and for the masculine to stay so much behind. But sometimes we get confused in this journey. We misunderstand our own progress and we feel like we're already there, but there's really so much things still to be done and work through. But I feel like they're trying to show him that it is possible, that he can change, that he can grow, that he can do better. It's an important shift in the journey of the masculine for them to believe, and that belief is first not directed and targeted towards you. It starts from their life, but they're wanting better, a better job, better relationships, better friends, better lifestyle. But it's like they become more ambitious. They stop to think I'm destined and fated for this misery of life, right? We have what kind of love do you desire? And it's funny, we have 2 cards that we had in a previous readings for the masculines, the purpose and what if it's all true, right? So I feel like when it comes to Yes You Can, I am hearing career. So there's something about his life, his career, that they're trying to like show him a little bit that you can do better, that you can do things with purpose. That's not I'm not hearing really his own purpose, but doing things with purpose. It's like for a very long time they're so wounded that they do things on an autopilot. The relationships, like they don't think this through. They like what they do, their lifestyle, their like entertainment, like the job, it's like all just like on an autopilot. And the moment comes when the spirit shows them that things that you do, they can have purpose, right? You really can select and be more selective when it comes to your friendships, your entertainment, your free time, your job, to put in purpose and intention in the things that you do. And I feel like he would be, I'm seeing that Queen of Wands that we had, remember? So despite the fact that he doesn't yet know what to think of you, what to make of this, right? he would be thinking about love, because there's something about you that is different, and it's something that they know from the beginning, that we're different, that all the other women that they've met, they don't know why, they doubt it, they don't have the faith, but they feel it. There's something different. So it ignites this thought within them. What if it is true? What if that love that I always wanted but I never found it, what if it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist? It just means that I haven't found it before. What if it's for real? What if there's something I'm hearing also in your softness is how you are with them. Maybe they really came across very like bossy ladies, very cold women, and there's a level of softness within you, even if you're not still yet in your full divine feminine. There's something that is so different in your energy that it's pushing them to begin to believe that, maybe that beautiful love does exist. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple of these for you. Let's just see what comes through. What is it that we need to know right now? What? Just a few, maybe a few more. What? Too many. And a few more. One more. Thank you. All right, what do we have? Hold on. All right, so we have number 4. I've been so grounded all my life, it's hard for me to trust the spiritual elements of our connection, yet I cannot deny it exists. Confirmation, we talked about this, but for both of you. And it's us feminists who lead the way, and I talk about this all the time, and I've mentioned this in my channeled messages from previous days. Trust. You really need to trust. This journey teaches us that you have zero tangible proof. This man does not speak to you, does not text you, does not call you, doesn't want to see you, doesn't offer you anything. You haven't seen him, heard of him for years. Yet your love grows stronger. How can you not trust? Through him, through this experience, you grow, you expand, you step into your power, your light. We are raised in a very matrix distorted patriarchal masculine energy, especially affect the masculines, but us feminists as well, that makes us doubt things that are not tangible. And logic is such a small part of this. This is why we suffer so much as humans, because we want proof for everything. It doesn't exist. Awaken the high priestess within you. We have the high priestess a couple of times on a table as well. You need to ground. It's like, remember what we said about grounding, that you're doubting because he's not watching your stories, because this and that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Trust, and then ground that trust. I wanted to send you a message today, but I was afraid to. I don't know if you want to hear from me, or if I can say the right things to you. Confirmation. We talked about this, that he has moment that he wants to communicate, but there's fear. There's like not knowing what's going to happen, right? Please send me energetic support. Use the frequency of love to uplift me, because I need your help. We talked about this too. Another confirmation that we lead the way. We pull them, right? So raise your vibration right now. Trust, believe, put yourself in this emotion of, yes, it's going to happen. This is my man. We cannot attach to this feeling, but we have to believe. It's really the balance. This is what we achieve for this journey. This is what we achieve for shadow work as well. That we have the trust, we have the belief, but we're not attaching to the when and the how and the if, right? I just trust. He needs your higher vibration. He needs you to be in your heart right now through this eclipse season. Number 7, I've been giving my power away to people in my life. I'm learning to set boundaries. We discussed this as well. So he still goes through some karmic experiences, some karmic lessons that are not necessarily, I miss you. Let's both stop running away. He misses you. He does misses you. He's not ready to... That on top of that fear, he doubts, he doesn't know what to make of this, but he misses you. I'm walking home to you. I'm not sure where I am on the path, but I'm walking it. I feel this is subconscious. He's not doing this consciously just yet, but subconsciously he is walking towards you. One of us is sad or angry, and it's creating an energetic match frequency in another. I've mentioned to you, you're going into fear, you're going into sadness. Fight with this. Stay conscious of this, and if possible, try to help to elevate. And it's a second card. It's like he needs your energetic help right now. I'm trying to figure out this connection. I've never experienced anything like this before. Confirmation, you guys. I don't want to make another part. You know what you had to know. Trust, believe, stay in your heart, stay in your truth, continue to grow and work through, power through this eclipse.